Wait, that's not what I meant. Can you just listen for a second? You people just don't get it. These are sentences and signs of an unethical communication. When communicating, we do not simply choose words wisely. We choose words that affect ourselves, our audience, and the society. Ethical communication is a communication predicated upon business values which include truthfulness, conciseness, and honor. We simply mean you are responsible for your words and the actions resulting after. Ethical communication also understands that one's thoughts must be expressed and conveyed effectively and concisely, and the resulting actions will potentially be solely based on the communicated message. Therefore, ethical communication is a set of acceptable communication principles that align with overarching the code of conduct.
Fundamentals of ethics in communication. Number one, openness and transparency. Being 100% open and transparent and hiding nothing is the key in order for all business relationships, whether within the business between members or the business with their partners, to succeed in a short term and a long term. Number two, consideration of any potential roadblocks. Ethically communication ensure that the recipient of the information are able to be fully understood what is being communicated. Example where the roadblocks may represent themselves. Number one, language fluency. The level of fluency as well as the language spoken by the listener, so that the recipient of the communication are able to understand what is being communicated. Number two, accessibility in technology. The ability to access a certain technology and know how to use a certain application may be a roadblock when it comes to ethically communicating to other particular audience. Number three, fundamental of ethics in communication, development of relationships. The art of communication allows people to express themselves. In order to develop this relationship, for example, in business, this can be an employee dealing with the manager, executive, and
principles of ethics in communication. There are many principles associated with ethical communication, starting with the core value of honesty that all other values are connected to. Be truthful and honest. Being honest means communicating what is known to be true to a listener with no intent to deceive or present only part of the truth. It also means that being as objective as possible. Ethical communication should be based on an accurate information and the fact, in a word, do not lie. You need to be an active listener. Hearing someone and listening to them are two different things. In order for ethical communication to be effective, it is necessary for the listener to proactively listen to the speaker and not just hear what they want to hear or to hear only part of the conversation. Speak non-judgmentally. Ethically communicating means speaking in a non-judgmental manner with every person, negating unnecessary conflict, which typically creates a breakdown in communication and causes misunderstandings. You need to speak from your own experience. When speaking to business listeners, it is very much important to bring your own personal experience in a dialogue. Provide the backup for your arguments with something more tangible, such as communication method. You need to start to understand. It is important for listeners to also start to fully understand what is being said before responding. They should ask questions for clarification of what you think they, they understand. Listeners need to think about what is being said before constructing a reply. Reading in between the lines is also an important skill that allows understanding. You need to avoid a negative tone. You should be polite and professional and habitat. The ethical communication knows that it's not only important what you say, but how you say it. Tone is very important. A listener may miss the meaning altogether if the tone is wrong. Do not interrupt others. Allowing others to speak it is important for the creation of civil, effective working environment. Interrupting others results in misunderstanding and unnecessary conflict and a breakdown in workplace communication. Lastly, you need to accept responsibility. A continent within any ethical communication framework is taking responsibility for the actions that result in one's worth.
I'm here to talk about examples of ethical communication. There are many examples of how ethical communication can change the outcome of a problem in a business or workplace environment, but I'll focus on only 3 examples. Firstly, in the medical industry, it's not only the key regulation, but there are many medical codes of ethics that medical professionals have to follow with regards to their actions, conduct, or communication. This ensures that all patients and medical professionals have their rights protected. Secondly, in the property consulting industry, ethical communication in the property consulting industry can take several forms, including revealing pieces of information to homeowners of a property. Lastly, in the marketing industry, ethical communication in the marketing industry can reveal to clients that their business marketing applications are not optimal or a different form of marketing will yield better results.
We have ethics in communication in everywhere we go. There's a type of language, there's a type of addressing that we use each and every time. I am going to be talking about ethics in communication based on business. In business organization, communicating concisely, ethically, and appropriately are all necessary so a business can operate effectively and efficiently. Operating according to a communication-based code of ethics is important for both small and large-scale person-to-person conversation. For a larger audience, it is often important for business members to employ additional values to their communication principle, such as choosing the right place and time and knowing one's audience. Okay, focusing on choosing the right place and time. It means speaking about a particular topic in a business often requires choosing the most pertinent and appropriate time and place in order for a message to be most effective. And when it comes to knowledge of one's audience, it means certain audiences may prefer different vertebrates or jargon or may prefer one's communication channel over another. Being an effective communicator means knowing your audience very well in order to communicate in a way that he or she will understand. And in business communication, it requires ethical values to form the foundation of all its relationship, which ensures that all enterprise, short-term projects, long-term projects are effectively managed and carried out. Communication is not just about the altering of words, but following principle and fundamental of communication. If one can adhere to and understand the ethics of communicating, then it is guaranteed that the message will be delivered concisely and efficient. So watch your tongue.